Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, an animal cruelty case goes to court in Victoria County. A suspect in a shooting in Bloomington is free on bond. And the Texas Attorney General needs the help of the state Supreme Court in his whistleblower case.
We've got some spectacular weather for most of this week. It's going to feel almost like springtime out there. Not a cloud in the sky. We'll talk about how long this could last coming up in just a moment.
Plus, we know the matchup for this year's Super Bowl. I'll have that in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Karina Garcia is off tonight. A man stabbed in a domestic violence incident Saturday is now in stable condition. 25 News Now reporter Adarius McCormick has more on the incident. Adarius?
The Victoria Police Department responded to a domestic violence call Saturday night. This incident ended with one person in a local hospital. VPD officers arrived on the scene in the 15th block of Crockett Avenue. That's south of Ben Jordan Street and east of Sam Houston Drive. Officers found a 61-year-old man stabbed. Shortly after, the victim was transported with life-threatening injuries to a local hospital. However, this afternoon, police say the man is in stable condition. VPD officers say the woman involved is claiming self-defense. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE. 25 News Now has requested the police report from the incident Saturday night. We'll keep you updated. Don, back to you.
Adarius, thank you. A Victoria County woman was in court today in an animal cruelty case. A Victoria grand jury indicted 42-year-old Carissa Salinas last April on 11 counts of animal cruelty. Salinas is expected in court April 2nd, and a trial date is set for May 29th. 55-year-old Terry Ellis is a co-defendant in the case. She's scheduled for court February 23rd. Ellis was ill and could not make her last court date in November. Current court records for the February 23rd court hearing show a note that Ellis remains ill. The incident in question happened on December 16th, 2022. Now, right now, there is no limit on the number of domestic animals a household can keep within the city of Victoria. Here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. And here's the question. Should Victoria have a limit on the number of animals a household can keep? Yes or no? Let's look at the numbers. Looks like 70% say yes, there should be that kind of a rule or a law, and 30% say no. We thank you for voting. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we'll have an update on 25 News Now at 10. Just before 1 p.m., Victoria Animal Care Services responded to a dog bite at the Days Inn in the 6200 block of Dairy Road. The dog is under home quarantine now, and the person hurt was treated at a local hospital. The person hurt works in housekeeping at the Days Inn.
The dogs were not on a leash, and they were let out of the room to go to the restroom, and the housekeeper came around the corner a little too fast, spooked the dog, and the dog bit her.
Now, Animal Care Services says the dog had pups and the dog belonged to someone staying at the Days Inn who was recently displaced by a fire. Jennifer Garza says the dog owner has agreed to pay medical bills associated with the attack. A 34-year-old man was taken into custody by DeWitt County Sheriff's deputies. Richard Navarro is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Navarro faces 2 charges and is in the DeWitt County Jail in lieu of $55,000 bond. A suspect in a shooting in Bloomington last October is now free on bond. 17-year-old Zachary Gonzalez had been in the Victoria County Jail since October on no bond. Last Thursday, Justice of the Peace Precinct 3 Robert Whitaker changed Gonzalez's bond to a $5,000 pre-trial services bond. Since then, Gonzalez bonded out of jail. He is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The case remains under investigation. The National Weather Service has these river flood warnings posted for the crossroads. 2 river flood warnings for Victoria County are in effect. A warning until this evening for the Guadalupe River at Victoria. At 12:15 p.m. today, the river was at 25 feet. Flood stage is 21 feet. A river flood warning for Victoria and Calhoun counties is in effect until early Thursday morning for the Guadalupe River near Bloomington. At 9 o'clock a.m. today, the River was at 26.7 feet. Flood stage is 20 feet. And now let's take a first look at your forecast. Here's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. And Mac, as the rivers go down, the sun keeps coming up. It's great weather out there.
You know, it's inversely proportional because the sunny, dry weather is going to help us out as all the rivers keep coming down. We'll have more on the rivers coming up in a moment, but I just wanted you to see this. The entire central part of the country is absent of any winter weather. It's very mild, and it'll be mild for about a week and a half because all the focus is going to be on the West Coast. What do you say? What does that mean to us? Well, it means that we don't see any ice or snow for almost 2 weeks on account of that. We'll be talking more about that coming up in just a moment.
Mac, thank you. Early voting for City of Victoria Mayor is open tonight through 7 o'clock. Early voting is at the Dr. Patty Dodson Public Health Center, 2805 North Navarro, Classroom A. The last day of early voting is tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On the ballot, Peter Brown, Carissa Winters, Josephine Solis, Dwayne Crocker, Jacob Sauceda, and Bob Constantine. Join us Saturday, February 3rd, this Saturday, for complete coverage of the special mayoral election. So far, 3 people have filed to run for City Council in Victoria. Residents can run for any of the 4 regular City Council District 1, 2, 3, and 4 seats. 3 candidates have filed, 1 each for position 1, 2, and 4. Rafael De La Garza III is seeking re-election in District 1. Jan Scott is seeking re-election in District 4, and attorney Stephen Kidder has filed to run in District 2. An informational session takes place February 6th at 10 a.m. at the City Council Chambers, 107 West Wan Lin Street. The deadline to file for a place on the ballot is 5 p.m. February 16th. The election is May 4th. A pedestrian was hit and killed by a San Antonio Police Department patrol car during a pursuit of a carjacking suspect. A suspect is now charged with murder in connection with the fatality.
It's calm now, but police say this section of Martin Street is where a couple became victims of a scary crime. A man and woman told police 2 men held them at gunpoint Friday night, demanding a purse in their car. Police say GPS helped them track down the stolen car. Officers found the car again on South W.W. White Road between Houston Street and I-10. They say the driver once again failed to stop, leading police on a chase. During that chase, an officer in a patrol unit hit a woman in the street who died there. The person charged with her murder? The suspected carjacker, 17-year-old Rene Camarillo. Police say his actions led to the woman's death.
It's unfortunate. I mean, I feel sorry for her and her family. I really do. I send prayers to her family. It's pretty bad.
Back at the scene today, we talked to this dad who didn't want to be named. He says what happened here is why he worries for his kids' safety.
I can't let my kids even walk to the store because who knows that somebody might steal a car and jump a curve and hit something.
Bexar County data from September shows more teens are carrying guns. It also shows the number of teens involved in car thefts is skyrocketing. This dad says it's an alarming trend with major consequences he feels could have been avoided.
Attorneys from the Texas Attorney General's office filed an emergency request Monday morning with the Texas Supreme Court, asking the justices to stop depositions from Ken Paxton and 3 of his top deputies in the ongoing whistleblower lawsuit. KXAN reports Paxton lawyers are asking for the court to answer by Wednesday, since he's set to answer questions under oath on Thursday. The plaintiffs argue Paxton violated whistleblower protections when he fired them after they reported him to the FBI on corruption allegations. Teachers are known for giving so much time, energy, and even their own money for their students. But 3 North Texas teachers gave the gift of life.
These 3 teachers have never met, but they have more in common than just their professions.
This is the first time that all of you guys have met. I mean,
Right.
Which is funny considering you have a lot in common.
We were all on the same floor.
Over a 3-day span, 3 teachers saved 3 lives, donating 3 kidneys.
Everyone was very excited to be a part of what is 3 amazing gifts.
It's rare enough to have living donors. Since 1988, Texas Health in Fort Worth has only facilitated 171 of these surgeries. So to have 3 teachers give 3 kidneys over the same 3 days?
Was reminded of the calling that teachers have to give every day, and we all know it's not an easy job, and so it was really exciting to see that they continue to give beyond what they do in their daily missions.
Staff says is living proof of just how generous our North Texas teachers really are.
It was a no-brainer for me. I was just like, why wouldn't I do that?
I could see God's hand in all of this. From the time that I decided to do it, till the dates lining up, to a recipient being found.
Folks need to consider how easy this really is and how life-saving it is.
Even during our interview, all of them remaining humble and gracious. They all decided to donate for different reasons, but at the core of it all, each donation was the same.
It's probably not a surprise that if it's going to be three, same occupation, what do you think that occupation would be? And I think no doubt it would be teachers.
In Fort Worth, Nicole Nielsen, CBS News, Texas.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 6. Changes may be coming to the Texas GOP primary because of one presidential candidate. Also ahead, a border bill is stuck in the Senate with Donald Trump saying he won't support the bill. Republicans are debating who should be allowed to vote in their March 5th primary. The Texas Tribune reports the debate has increased as presidential candidate Nikki Haley has talked openly about targeting states like Texas that have open primaries. Texas is one of 16 states that have open primaries. Texas voters do not have to declare a party affiliation when they register to vote. A possible border deal could head to the Senate floor in the coming days. The question remains whether Republicans are going to listen to former President Trump, who has tried to tank the bill.
In a rare statement on the congressional negotiations, President Joe Biden says the bipartisan deal the Senate is working on is both tough and fair. Senator Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut, is one of the key negotiators.
I am hopeful that we will still have enough Republicans in the Senate who want to fix the problem at the border rather than just do Donald Trump's bidding.
While Republicans have long pushed for strengthening border security, the party's presidential frontrunner, Donald Trump, is asking them to reject the immigration compromise.
A bad bill is, I'd rather have no bill than a bad bill.
The former president is eyeing the general election and has been campaigning against Biden's handling of the border.
A lot of the senators are trying to say respectfully they're blaming it on me. I said, that's okay, please blame it on me, please.
Meanwhile, Trump's presidential primary opponent, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, says Congress needs to take action as soon as possible.
Donald Trump, the last thing he needs to do is tell them to wait to pass a border deal until the election. We can't wait one more day.
Components of the deal include a new authority that allows the president to shut down the border between ports of entry when unlawful crossings reach high levels, reforming the asylum system to resolve cases in a shorter time frame, and expediting work permits.
Join 25 News Now anchor Karina Garcia for the 2024 Crossroads Heart and Stroke Walk. The event takes place this Saturday at 8 a.m. The walk will start at 8:15 at Riverside Park, located on 311 Memorial Drive. The life of a young boy in San Antonio just got a little easier thanks to a high school senior. The 3-year-old suffers from a skeletal and muscular condition that makes it difficult to get around. Now a modified toy car has given him his freedom.
It's a red toy car with major and specific modifications.
Suited specially for 3-year-old Yetzael Enriquez Perales. He suffers from Nemaline myopathy, which makes it difficult for him to breathe on his own and also leaves him with muscle weakness throughout his entire body. Yetzael depends on his mom Brenda for almost everything. The first year I would ask God why? Why us? But now I ask for what? Because he has a purpose. And now one senior at TMI Episcopal came up with something that can give Yetzael more independence.
I designed these components in my computer.
Marcelo Martinez Sotomayor used a 3D printer and materials he bought from a store.
This is just a normal kickboard that you would see in a pool.
To fit this car to Yetzael's body, even adding room for Yetzael's medical equipment, and then made these joysticks, the gas, brakes, and steering.
So yeah, I did have to rewire it, which I would say would probably be more on the difficult end of this whole project.
Marcelo turned a 3-month-long school project into endless new memories and opportunities for Yetzael. He's going to have that liberty to be able to move where he wants because he likes to make decisions on his own too, said Mom. But she also says the new ride comes with added responsibilities. He can give me a ride. He can take me to the store. Now he can chauffeur me around, she joked. It's safe to say Marcelo passed his assignment, and Yetzael's mom is grateful, saying, "Thank you so much. Keep doing this for more kids, for more people, and continue helping the community of San Antonio." John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Bright young man. That's amazing. Well, good evening, everyone. We're looking at a little bit of cloud cover out there, but it was a sunny day. It was a beautiful day, as a matter of fact. And boy, that Sunday was something else. Right now, we're at about 62 degrees. We managed to get up to about 71 this afternoon. Yep, that's the official number after a rather cool overnight low. But the thing is, for most of this week, it's going to feel like springtime. Temperatures are going to be warmer than normal, and nights are not particularly going to be cold. We're going to say goodbye to winter for a couple of weeks. I'll show you why coming up in just a moment. Stay tuned. Well, good evening, everybody. Believe it or not, our satellite radar is on. There's not a cloud, or hardly a cloud in the sky. In fact, all of Texas is doing very nicely, except for that high, thin cloud cover coming in from the southwest. But I just want to show you the big picture. You notice there's a lot of activity out west, and there's a little bit of activity in the east. The thing is, for the next couple weeks, all of the central part of the country is going to be absent of winter weather. The reason is that we're having a pattern change over North America. You know how important that is. And the pattern is now going to be tremendous West Coast storms hitting the West Coast rain, wind, and snow. But when they get over the Rockies, they're going to be sort of weakened, not really coming into our area. And of course, you know, the jet stream goes across the United States, the prevailing westerlies, and so that's going to be bringing the storms. And so it's going to be keeping much of the Arctic stuff up in the Arctic. So while, you know, the West Coast is going to have a rough time, we're going to have relatively mild weather. Here's the river warnings, as Don was mentioning earlier. Here's the kind of the good news. Right there is today. And you can see how the Guadalupe River at Victoria is now beginning to drop. So give it another day or so and you see, you know, you'll see that, you know, it was a lot of water in there over the weekend. And of course that water goes downstream. So we're looking at even Bloomington is going to be on the high side, riverside. But look at that, in the day or two, that starts going down as well. And of course, there's no incoming rainfall. So we're looking at things settling down along our rivers. Obviously, East Texas got a lot of rain too. They have floodings, but there are going to be another 2 or 3 days before they start to decrease. Our nighttime temperatures getting down to about 45 degrees tonight. Chilly, but not particularly bad. And we're looking for tomorrow about 68, 70 degrees. So with the sunshine, it'll be one of those days you don't know whether to wear a jacket or a sweater or a t-shirt. I mean, it all depends on where you're going to be standing. So we take a look at our future track to see if anything's coming. We just see this high-level cloud cover coming up from the southwest. No major problems there. That's your Tuesday and all the way to about your Wednesday. That's what we have. But you can see on Wednesday how things start getting rather busy out on the west coast. And that's where all the busyness is going to be for about 2 weeks. Let me show you what we're talking about. Now, first of all, high pressure and high pressure gave us the nice weekend. This little front's going to sort of scoot on by, not do much of anything. This is going to stay out in far west Texas as high pressure is really going to be in control of our weather. But you see how big that storm is? Huge. And I'm talking, you know, remember last year they had like 5 hurricanes of snow back to back? Same thing. So it's going to be a good wet year for them, but it's going to be pretty rough for the next couple 7 to 10 days where all of that activity will be slamming ashore. All right, let's look at our weather. And of course, we're looking a little bit of cloud cover, but no major problems for us. Getting up to about 68 tomorrow in Port Lavaca after a morning low of 45, obviously closer to the water. About 50 in Cuero and getting up to about 69, 70. I'm going to call it partly cloudy for the rest of the afternoon. And here's what gets interesting. We're going to be on the nice side of things until Friday night. Little frontal system comes in. Saturday morning blows through with a line of showers, and it will give us a little drier weather as we get on into the weekend as well. So that is your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Mr. Don.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. And Mr. Zach Brown is here with sports, and a great honor for a great coach.
That's right, Mr. Don, an area coach named Coach of the Year in their class in the state of Texas. I'll have that in sports. So the Kansas City Chiefs moving on after taking down Baltimore in the AFC title game yesterday. They have made it to the big game for the 4th time in 5 years after taking down the top-seeded Ravens 17-10. Always fun when Travis Kelce gets the mic.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
The big party 2 weeks away, and joining them in that party, the San Francisco 49ers, who snatched victory from the jaws of defeat against the Detroit Lions. San Francisco trailed by 17 at the half. The Lions passed up on 2 field goal opportunities, and they went for it on 4th down. Neither of them converted. Here is Lions coach Dan Campbell on that topic after the game.
I don't regret those decisions, and that's hard. You know, it's hard because, you know, we didn't come through. It wasn't able to work out, but I don't. And I understand the scrutiny I'll get. That's part of the gig, man. But, you know, we just didn't work out.
He may not regret it, but they only lost by 3 points. One coach not catching much controversy, though, the 3A head coach of the year, Tidehaven's David Lucio, whose Tidehaven Tigers made it all the way to Arlington for a state championship. That was their only loss on the year. The moment has to feel full circle for Lucio because he graduated from there and he just took his Tigers where they had not been in about 4 decades. From Victoria West, we got a star ball player committing, and that is Kamari Montgomery. He has committed to Eastern New Mexico University. According to his Max Preps page, he just rushed for 1,900 yards this year, 3,200 yards overall during his varsity years. Also rushed for 43 touchdowns in his Warriors career. Congrats to Kamari on this commitment. Tomorrow, the Cuero Lady Gobblers have a shot at their first district title since the 2018-2019 season. The girls are currently perfect in district play at 9-0 and are ranked highly, which of course puts a target on their back. Their game tomorrow against Lavernia, who they have already beaten once this year. The girls ready for this big opportunity.
We're excited. It's been a while. This group has worked hard, so we have an opportunity tomorrow, and credit to them. They created it, and so we're going to get after it. You know, I just tell the kids keep working, and it doesn't matter who we play. Everybody's going to bring it. We just got to bring it faster, harder, you know, and just expect it.
This is a road game. It is at Lavernia. Sad news in Houston. Former Astros manager Jimmy Williams has passed. Williams was the manager of the Stros from 2002 through 2004. He was 80 years old. He made his major league debut as a player in 1966. He was also a manager for the Blue Jays and Red Sox. He was the AL manager of the year in 1999. That is it for your sports. Don, back to you.
All right, Zach, thank you. We're back in a moment. A toy fan from the 80s has turned into a way for a woman to root for her favorite team. And finally tonight, Kansas City Chiefs fans share their love in different ways. Cookies, clothing, even house decor. But one fan shares hers through a popular 80s doll. A Kansas City woman created homemade Cabbage Patch dolls showing Travis Kelce, Taylor, I think her last name is Swift, Jason Kelce, and Donna Kelce. It started from an idea on Travis and Jason's podcast where they talked about signing baby dolls. No autograph yet, but she says it's fun to grow the Kelsey Cabbage Patch family. That takes a lot of work, I'll bet you,
Yes,
to put
it does.
those together.
Yes, it does, and the Chiefs have the best girlfriend in the world. So I mean, Taylor Swift.
Okay. Tom's tired of the media coverage. I love Taylor Swift, but the media coverage is crazy.
Well, I mean,
overdone, you think?
Overdone a little bit.
She's part of the team now.
Yeah, pretty much, man. They show her more than the games. sometimes.
Exactly. When the cameras will go, hey, the game's over on this side. I think they show her more than the cheerleaders for sure.
No,
Well, she has more hit songs.
We got beautiful weather right on through Friday. We've got mild weather in the 70s and then a little bit of rain on Saturday morning. Don?
All right, thank you, Mac, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Have a good one, everybody.